Hey everybody, Dave here. Coming at you with a little bonus episode, but figured I'd have to set it up for you a little bit. So every year my church does a New Year's Eve bash, and it always includes a little talent show of sorts. Now, usually when I perform in this talent show, because I invariably do every time, I'm usually doing something silly, a skit or something with my wife, or maybe we'll sing a song like a karaoke. But this year I decided, in light of starting up a new podcast, By the Fire, I would do something a little different. I would do a live reading. So I chose a selection from a short story I wrote a while back ago, called Grizzly. So this is Grizzly Chapter 1. Now, I'll have to admit that I did not win any prizes after this reading from the talent show. Incidentally, I entered this very same story into a sci-fi and fantasy writing contest about a year ago or so. Didn't win anything from that either. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. Here's Grizzly Chapter 1. Recording, there we go. All right, Chapter 1. It's magical. Sitting by this campfire with my wife and kids, surrounded by pine trees, eating smallmouth bass we caught from the river and baked beans we brought from home. Later, we're going to roast marshmallows. Call me simple, but I've been dreaming about this for years. When I was 10, my mom took me camping in Yosemite National Park. I had a blast, except for a little incident when a black bear came into the campground. But looking back, even that was part of the fun. I wanted to take my kids camping in Yosemite like my mom did for me. Then I checked the prices. They were outrageous. Other campgrounds close by weren't much better, so I said, forget it. We'll make our own campsite. And we did. I aimed the car at Yosemite, but turned off the road well before we got there. We ended up on an old dirt path, probably an old logging trail or something, and we parked in this clearing. We hiked a mile or so and then set up our tent. We are miles from anyone. Perfect time of year, too. Early spring. The river is raging. The forest is abuzz with life. Like I said, magical. You look happy, my wife says, catching me off guard as I stare mesmerized into the flames. Huh? Oh, I am, I say. This is awesome. Oh, sorry, honey, she says. I was talking to Lacey. I chuckle, slightly embarrassed. Lacey's our daughter. She's 9, adorable, and happens to have Down syndrome. I was nervous bringing her up here. All the hiking and roughing it would surely wear her out. But she's a trooper. She was winded, for sure, but she stuck it out. And now she's loving every bit of it. She's sweet, considerate, trusting, so innocent. I behold her as she beams at the night sky through crooked glasses. I am happy, Lacey says, her adorable voice melting me. There's so many stars. How come I've never seen them before? Because of all the light back home, I answer. Street lights, headlights. Out here, it's so dark. We can't see them. I love all the bugs, Lacey says, changing the subject. She does that a lot. We've gotten used to it. It takes me a minute to figure out what she means by I love all the bugs. Then I realize she's referring to the chirping. I've forgotten how loud insects are in the wilderness at night. It sounds like a legion of crickets has camped around us. Thankfully, the mosquitoes haven't been too bad, and thankfully my wife and daughter aren't creeped out by the zillions of creepy crawly noisemakers. They're pretty loud, huh? I say. When can we roast marshmallows? Lacey asks. Another subject change. We laugh. In a little while, sweetie, my wife says. Do you want any more dinner? No. What about you, Jordan? Are you still hungry? Lacey asks her big brother. No, thanks. I'm kind of craving those marshmallows, too, my son replies with a sly grin. Jordan's 13, great kid. He likes sports, especially football and wrestling, the entertainment kind, not the real kind. He's got so much potential. Smart, athletic, respectful, considerate, fast learner. Today was his first time fishing, and he caught more fish than I did. Then he expertly trudged up the steep, slippery riverbank. That's more than I can say for me. I slipped and nearly broke my leg. Sure, being 13, he has his rebellious moments. But all in all, Jordan's the best big brother a Down syndrome sister could have hoped for. Oh, all right, I say. Want me to get them, honey? My wife asks. You've done a lot already. My wife, Sarah, incredible. We met at church about 15 years ago. I was so taken with her, not just by her looks, which have gotten somehow better with time, but with her heart. She's very generous, the perfect counterbalance to my stinginess, and she's forgiving. My goodness, is she ever. Lord knows she needs to be with a moron like me around. Nah, I got it, babe, I reply. I stand, place another log on the fire, and go in search of the marshmallows. Pretty sure I left them in my pack, which is in our tent. I unzip it, crouch, and crawl inside. In the scant firelight, I find my flashlight and then locate the pack. What was that? Sounded like a sneeze, maybe? The noise came from somewhere in the woods behind the tent. It wasn't human. Sounded like it came from a large animal. My hackles go up. I crawl out of the tent and shine my light in the direction of the sound. About 30 yards away, two beady yellow eyes reflected me. They're set within a massive furry head, a bear. It looks brown, but I know it can't be. There are no brown bears this far south, only black bears. I remember learning that as a kid, camping in Yosemite. Grizzlies have been extinct in California since the 20s. The brown color, that must just be because of my flashlight. Even so, a wave of panic washes over me. I don't want that thing anywhere near my family. I don't care what color it is. Recalling my childhood trip to Yosemite, the park rangers told us that black bears are chicken. We were to run at them, make a lot of noise, and throw rocks. It sounded crazy at the time, but I saw the strategy work when a black bear wandered into our campground. One of the male campers chased it away. That was almost 30 years ago, so I guess it's my turn now. I prefer not to alarm my family, but I have no choice. I call over my shoulder. Guys, there's a bear over here. Just stay calm, okay? I'll chase it off. They're quiet for a moment while I search the ground for rocks to throw. Oh my, chase it off? My wife says. Yeah, I call. I gather a handful of small stones. My heart is pounding, adrenaline pumping. Okay, here it goes, I mutter to myself. I dart into the foliage, hollering, making a noise that's supposed to be a roar, but probably sounds more like a tone-deaf drunk trying to sing I'll Always Love You. Remembering how the black bear in Yosemite immediately turned and ran, I expect the same result. Not this time. I get within 10 yards and the bear opens its mouth and roars. I freeze. Then it starts moving towards me. That is no black bear. I turn and bolt back toward camp. Grizzly! Get the kids and run! I yell. My wife screams. Then my daughter. My son yells something, but I'm too panicked to understand. I realize I'm running toward the camp, towards my family. No, you idiot! Lead it away from them, I self-scold. Run to the car, I yell. I'll lead it away! What? No, we're not going without you, Jordan calls. Go, I demand. Jordan, Lacey, let's go, Sarah cries. Daddy, Lacey screams. What about Dad? Jordan asks. I'll meet you there, I holler, delving deeper into the woods. Keep the engine running. I brake right and sprint toward the river, listening for sounds of pursuit. I can't tell, but I'll assume it's behind me. The river is maybe 100 yards away, down a 10-foot steep, slippery embankment that I nearly killed myself on earlier. Maybe I can slip down the embankment and make it slip, and then get enough of a lead on it and make it back to the car. It's not a great plan, but it's all I got. Now I hear it. The bear huffs as it gallops, powerful paws crunching foliage like a tank behind me. Good. It's coming for me, not my family. Oh crap, I just dropped my flashlight. No time. I keep running. My heart's pounding like fireworks. I can't see a thing. It's gaining on me fast. The river is up ahead. I'll just have to guess where the embankment is. Wish I knew that my family got away. Don't know if I'll get out of this one. Okay, stop. Don't think like that. What's a grizzly doing here anyway? Did I imagine that? No, it's definitely behind me. Just run. Figure it out later. I feel myself falling. The embankment. I must have misjudged where it is. I submerge in icy cold water. I was running full speed, so I hit the water instead of the rocks. The current grabs and hurls me downriver. The water is deep. I can't feel the bottom. I remember there were rapids downstream from where Jordan and I were fishing earlier. I must have landed around the same spot because I'm moving fast. I break the surface and look back. In the moonlight, I make out the bear's ominous silhouette. It looms atop the embankment. It seems to watch me for a moment, then turns and gallops back into the woods, towards the camp, towards my family. No, I cry. I swim furiously against the current, struggling to make it to the bank, but it's no use. The rapids overpower me and carry me into a series of boulders. My ribs slam against one, and then another. Then against so many I lose count. I'm pushed under. I wasn't ready for that. I've got almost no air. Feels like I'm in a washing machine. My head hits something hard. I've got to get to the surface, but the current keeps me down. I'm carried further and further downriver. As my body demands air, my thoughts delve into insane panic. It's probably chasing them right now. I picture myself drowning while the grizzly bear rips my family apart. No! Somehow my feet find the riverbed. I push off with my last reserves. Mid-blackout, I break the surface and steal a gulp of air. No sooner do my lungs accept the air than I hit a dead stop as my back meets a boulder. All that stolen air goes right back out. Water rushes over me like I'm standing in front of a fire hydrant. I get my arms up just enough to shield my face and suck in another breath. I fight to get my bearings, but I can't see a thing between the darkness and the water barrage. I've got to get out of this river, not only for my family's sake, but because I'll be hypothermic in another minute. I manage to flip myself around. The water is now slamming my back, but it's better than being hit in the face. My eyes adjust and I focus on the river in front of me. I see what looks like an end to the rapids, but it might be a waterfall. If it is, I'll know soon enough. It beats freezing to death on this rock. I push off and plunge back into the rapids. They propel me like a water slide through a series of small drops, bumping my legs and arms against river rocks with each twist and turn. Then, as quickly as they started, the rapids stop. It's as if I was deposited into a serene, if freezing, swimming pool. I paddle hard for the riverbank. When I come out of the water, the pain really begins. Ribs, legs, back, head, it's all throbbing. I ignore it. I've got to get to my family. I start, but the slippery rocks under me stop any hopes of sprinting. The riverbank is covered in them. Geez, this sucks. In the moonlight, I make out the tree line and head for it. I start shaking. Hypothermia is setting in, so I pick up the pace. Gotta get out of these wet clothes. I can't believe how dark it is out here. Even with my eyes adjust, I slip. My feet go skyward, and my head strikes something hard.
Well, there you have it. I only messed up a few times. Hey, live reading is not as easy as it sounds. All right. What'd you think? Leave me a review or send me an email, info@davesmail.com. Thanks again for listening, and God bless.